Hi guys, it's Teresa Wynn, your mindset mentor and growth strategist. Today's topic is about feeling overwhelmed. So, this is also a very common theme when I work with my clients. There's just not enough time in the day to complete all the tasks you need to complete. So how do we approach that? How do we overcome feeling overwhelmed? Did you know that being overwhelmed is just fear in a different form? Basically, your fear has hijacked your brain and you let it happen because you see it as scarcity. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough energy to be able to fit everything in 24 hours. Does that sound familiar? And how does our body react? Basically, we then get into the mode of procrastination. Basically, you end up being on Facebook, just scrolling aimlessly, looking at everyone's pictures and telling yourself that you're going to get to that task later. You go online, maybe Amazon, and do a little online shopping. You just start doing other tasks that don't really matter because you don't want to get to the things that you need to start doing. So what do you do when you're feeling overwhelmed and paralyzed? First thing, ground yourself. So I have a grounding exercise that I think will be useful for you when you're feeling overwhelmed. I want you to work through your 5 senses. And what this does, it helps to interrupt your overwhelm. You're grounded in your senses and present in the moment. It's just like a mini session of mindfulness that brings you back. So let's get grounded. First, take a couple deep breaths in and deep breath out. Make sure you exhale all of that air in your lungs. Deep breath in and back out. Okay, I want you to name, first of all, 5 things that you see with your eyes right now in the moment of your overwhelm. Name 5 things that you see. Is it the trees outside? Is it the kitchen cabinet? Is it your family that's sitting in front of you? Whatever it is, name those 5 things. So what we're doing is we're going to work through all of our senses. So the first one is your eyes. Next one is your hearing. So name 4 things that you hear immediately in your moment of overwhelm. What is it that you hear? Are you outside? You hear the wind blowing, the leaves rustling, the cars driving by back and forth, kids giggling, whatever it is. Name those 4 things. The third thing is to state 3 things that you smell right now in this immediate area. So if you're at a coffee shop, you probably smell some coffee. You might smell some chocolate. You might smell a little bit of cinnamon. Whatever you smell, just state it. The next thing that you want to do is then state 2 things that you feel. So tactile, like do you have a pen in your hand? You could say, I feel my pen in my hand. I feel my feet in my shoes. I feel my skin against my blouse. Whatever it is, just name 2 things that you feel on your body. And then the last thing is what it is that you taste. So even if you don't have anything, even if you're not eating or drinking anything, you can just say the taste of your own mouth. Not only does it help you stay grounded, it takes you out of overwhelm, it interrupts the overwhelm process or the overwhelmed state of mind. And it also then, just like the 5 things that you see, the 4 things that you hear, the 3 things that you smell, the 2 things that you feel, the 1 thing that you taste, just like counting down and stating all those things that you're feeling will help to interrupt any other swirling thoughts. Okay, so the second thing is to prioritize your to-do list. I know people hate writing their to-do lists, but did you realize that basically 80% of the things on your to-do list are things that you can either hire out or basically never have to do ever again because it adds no value to your life or your business at all. So what I want you to do is just do a complete brain dump, and anything that absolutely needs to get done or something bad will happen, put on one column. And then in the second column, it needs to be done, but not right now. Second column, okay? Third column, it doesn't need to get done. I can delegate it, or it never has to get done ever again. You'll be surprised that, there are a lot of things that you don't actually need to do. There are more things that you think you need to do. And so when you can organize your tasks and your thoughts that way, it really helps for you to visualize, what you need to work on and focus on those important tasks. Did you guys know that the most successful people, the one characteristic that makes them successful is they are able to make a decision. So when we're feeling overwhelmed, we don't even know where to start. We're just like, what's first, what's last, what's important, what's not. And sometimes we get into this swirl of, what if I don't make the right move? What if I don't take the right action? And guess what? There really is no right action. The fact that you're taking action is already a huge step forward. Instead of seeing it as the wrong choice, see it as an observer, as a scientist. And once you've completed that task or taken that action, look back as a scientist very objectively and ask yourself, how could I have done this better? Who can I talk to get more information on tweaking my words or improving this methodology? That way, when you're looking at it objectively, you're not so critical of yourself, and you're not so mean, and you don't call yourself names, like, oh God, Teresa, you're so stupid, you shouldn't have done that. Or, gosh, Teresa, you're so lame, why didn't you read that first? Or, oh, you should have, asked for advice before you went to do that. How many times in your life have you done something and, it turned out just fine? And even though you doubted yourself, the end result was freaking phenomenal. It ended up being totally okay. So also, when you're feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? For me, if I decided to advertise a freebie, the worst thing that could happen is I lose $30 and nobody signs up for my email list. Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen, but it's really not that bad. There are ways that I can improve it. Ask other entrepreneurs for their input. Ask my mentor, to look over my copy and see if there was something that I needed to improve. The last thing that I want to tell you is you need to stop multitasking. Who here multitasks really well? Me. I absolutely multitask very well. The problem with that is when you multitask, you get a whole lot of things done, but none of them complete. So it's like you do a little bit of everything for all these tasks and you end up not finishing anything. Multitasking is probably one of the worst things that you can do as a business owner. We need to focus on the big things, complete it, and then move to the next. Not do a bunch of little things. So choose a task, finish it up, do not move on to the next one till you're done with the first one. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, try these methods, you guys. Try these little tips and see if that'll get you out of the state of procrastination and paralysis. Because overwhelm is just another form of fear, just another way your ego is trapping your brain so that you feel safe, always and forever. But we all know if we don't change, we don't grow. All right, guys, I hope that helped, and we will see you soon. Bye.